Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be showing you guys my most favorite recipe, the lemon curd cake recipe. For this recipe I'm using 6 eggs. In a mixing bowl I've added the 6 eggs and 2 cups of sugar. Next what I'm doing is beating the eggs and the sugar together till it foams up and the color starts to fade. Next I'm adding half a teaspoon of salt. Next I'm gonna add half a teaspoon of bicarbonate soda and 1 teaspoonful of baking powder. The next step is optional. I've added 1 teaspoonful of lemon extract, half a teaspoon of yellow food color, and 1 teaspoon vanilla flavor. Next I've added 2 cups of flour and 1 cup of oil. Next I've added zests from 3 lemons. Next I've cut 2 lemons into halves and juiced them to add them into the batter. From 2 lemons I've got like 1/4 cup of juice. Next I'm adding 2 tablespoonfuls of yogurt. Since I'm baking a tall cake today, I will be dividing the batter into 3 cakes. Next I'm oiling my tins with vegetable oil and then I will be dusting them with flour so that the cake doesn't stick to the sides. I've divided the batter into 3 equal pots. Make sure to preheat your oven for at least 15 minutes. Pop the cakes into the oven and bake it for at least 30 minutes at 170 degrees Celsius. As you can see, my cakes have turned out flat. This is exactly what I needed to bake a tall cake. Now that I'm done with baking the cakes, it's time to prep the icing for the cake. I've added silver foil below the first layer of my cake to avoid any mess while I'm decorating the cake. For the lemon curd, I'm adding 1 cup of sugar into a blender and zesting 3 lemons into the blender as well. The reason why I'm gonna blend the dry sugar and lemon zest together is I want all of them to mix together. Next, all you would need to do is give it a blitz or 2. The final blitz, I couldn't make difference between the sugar and the lemon zest anymore. Next, I'm gonna cut the 3 zested lemons into halves and juice them again for the lemon curd. Is the saucepan I will be using for making the lemon curd today. Next, I will be separating 6 egg yolks into the saucepan and leave the egg whites for later. Give the egg yolks a slight whisk. Next, add the sugar and lemon zest that you've blended earlier. You're in for some hand exercise now because we will be whisking the egg yolks and the sugar together till it completely almost dissolves. Using a strainer, I will be straining half a cup lemon juice that I had got earlier into the saucepan. On the lowest heat on my tiniest burner I put the saucepan and started to cook the lemon curd. Again, you're in for some good hand exercise because you're just gonna have to keep whisking the lemon curd so that it doesn't stick to the edges of the pan. The reason why we keep whisking constantly is that we're looking for something that will be in the consistency of a curd and not a scrambled egg. It took me almost 20 minutes of whisking when my curd started to really curdle up and bubble up. That's when you know your curd is ready. What you can do is you can do a wooden spoon test. Put the end of the wooden spoon into the curd, and if it's still runny, that means your curd is still not ready. When you start to see the color changing and turning into a more lemony, yellowy color, you will know that your curd is getting there. Once the curd is ready, take it off the heat and add 3/4 stick of butter. The cold butter will help the hot curd to cool down and the whole curd will turn glossy. At this point, your curd should look very glossy, shiny, and you should start getting the aroma. I'm adding a little bit of yellow food color into the curd, but it's absolutely optional. If you don't want to put, it's absolutely fine. You do you. Now that my lemon curd is ready, next I'm going to be making a lemon syrup for the cake. So you're going to need half a lemon, just squeeze it into a glass, add sugar, 2 tablespoons, and just mix it with water. Now that I'm done with the syrup, I'm going to be making my cream. So I'm using 3 cups of double cream. Add the double cream into a mixing bowl. And next what you would need to do is add half a cup of icing sugar into it. Make sure your double cream is cold enough, or else once you've beaten it, it's not going to peak like that. Next, I'm bagging the cream into a piping bag, and this is the nozzle I'm using today. Now I'm starting to assemble the cake all together using the cake layers, the cream, the syrup, and of course the lemon curd. On the first layer of the cake, I'm adding syrup. The reason why we add syrup is if your cake is dense in some places, if at all. In that case, the syrup is gonna soften the cake down. We don't want to eat a very dry, dense cake. This cake definitely isn't that dry, yet I prefer the syrup. Next, I'm gonna add the cream on the edge of the cake. Next, I'm adding the lemon curd in the middle of the cake. Next, on the second layer of the cake, I will be adding cream again. Now I'm gonna add the second layer of the cake facing the cream down on the lemon curd. Now I'm gonna repeat the process of adding syrup on the second layer of the cake and then creaming the edge, adding the lemon curd in the middle, and same way I will be adding the third layer of the cake again. After I've added the third layer, you can see my cake is a bit tilted. This is a time when you can basically straighten the cake. Once you've creamed the cake entirely, you will not be able to straighten the cake. If you want, you can add skewers in the middle of the cake. I'm not adding one today, but obviously for your safety, if you will be making it and traveling with it somewhere, best to add skewers. Now that I've done creaming the entire cake, this is the process where everything is optional. How you want to decorate your cake is totally up to you. I'm using the same nozzle again, and I'm gonna make twirls on the edge of the cake, making it look like a crown. Once I'm done doing the crown, I can see a bit of gap between the frosting and the cake. That's the reason I'm just filling that gap up. Next, you can see I've made some more flowers on the middle of the cake. I'm adding raisins on them. The flowers were made using the same nozzle. I've not changed the nozzle once during decorating this cake. At this point, obviously, if you're satisfied with the decoration, you can stop it here and just set the cake in the freezer to let it cool. I wasn't happy with the decoration, so what I did next was I sliced a few lemons and put them on a tray, put some lemon candies on top, and then just baked them in the oven. I put them in the oven for just nearly 10 minutes on low heat. Make sure not to burn them. Once they're out of the oven and cooled, I start to add them in between the decorations on the cake. Next, I'm adding mint leaves below the lemons that I've just recently added. Voila, my lemon curd cake is ready to be served. If you like my videos, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. For more such recipes, keep watching Cake Manic.